The desert did not forgive weakness. Princess Zara of the Kale tribe learned this before she learned how to smile. She stood tall on the day of her punishment, spine straight, chin lifted, eyes cold as the steel of the ceremonial daggers around her. The elders' verdict echoed in her ears like a drumbeat of shame. Marriage to an outsider, not a prince, not a warrior of her blood, but a cowboy, a landless man from beyond the red hills, a stranger who smelled of leather, dust, and freedom. Zara did not beg. Princesses of Kale did not beg. Still, rage burned in her chest as she was led toward the man who would bind her fate. Cole Walker removed his hat when he saw her. He had crossed deserts, survived gunfights, and stared death in the face. But the woman walking toward him stole his breath clean out of his lungs. She was fire wrapped in silk. Pride sharpened into human form. Eyes dark, dangerous, and unreadable. This was no spoiled royal. This was a storm. "I won't touch you unless you ask," Cole said quietly when they stood face to face. Zara laughed, sharp, bitter. "You are my punishment," she replied. "Do not pretend kindness makes you noble." The elders sealed the union before the sun set, chains disguised as vows. That night, Zara sat rigid in the marriage tent, hands clenched in her lap. Her entire life had been controlled by tradition, by blood, by duty, but this was different. This was humiliation. Cole stayed on the opposite side of the tent, silent, respectful, infuriatingly calm. "You fear me," she accused. "No," he said. "I respect you." She scoffed. "Men like you don't respect women like me." "Then you don't know men like me." Hours passed. The desert wind whispered secrets through the canvas. Finally, Zara stood. "Do it," she said coldly. "Claim your prize." Cole rose slowly. When he reached her, he stopped, then gently lifted her hand. The moment his fingers brushed her skin, everything changed. His touch was warm, steady, careful, not greedy, not rough, not victorious. Zara gasped. Her body betrayed her before her pride could react. The tension she carried her entire life cracked, just slightly, but enough, Cole noticed. Of course he did. He let go instantly, and that restraint shook her more than force ever could. Days turned into weeks. The tribe expected submission, tears, broken spirit. Instead, they saw something else. They saw Zara riding beside the cowboy, not behind him. They saw laughter, quiet at first, then real. They saw her challenge him, argue with him, and slowly trust him. Cole never ordered her, never claimed authority. When warriors mocked him, he stood firm. When elders questioned him, he answered calmly. When Zara pushed him away, he waited. One night, after a raid threatened the tribe, Zara returned shaken, hands trembling despite her strength. Cole said nothing. He simply pulled her into his chest. She didn't resist. For the first time in her life, she rested her forehead against another human being and let herself feel safe. "They punished me to break me," Zara whispered into his shirt. "They didn't know who you were," Cole replied. She looked up at him, eyes wet, pride still intact. "And who am I?" He smiled softly. "A queen who survived fire." That night, when she kissed him, it was not duty. It was choice. The tribe noticed the change too late. Zara spoke in council with a new voice, steady, fearless, supported. Cole stood beside her, not above her. When the elders tried to reclaim control, she stood. "You gave me to a man to humiliate me," she said. "Instead, you gave me a partner." Silence fell. "I will rule with him, or without your blessing." The tribe bowed. Under the open desert sky, Zara took Cole's hand again. This time she did not flinch. This time she leaned in. She had been forced into marriage as punishment. But love? Love had been her rebellion. The desert remembered everything. It remembered blood spilled in silence, vows spoken without love, and women who bowed when they wanted to scream. Princess Zara knew this better than anyone. But as dawn painted the sand gold, she stood outside the council grounds with her shoulders squared, no longer carrying the weight alone. Cole stood beside her, not behind, not in front, beside. The elders gathered, their expressions hard. The tribe had grown uneasy. A princess who spoke too freely. A cowboy who refused to be controlled. Whispers spread like smoke. This marriage was a mistake. Zara felt it coming before it happened. You were given to this man as punishment, Elder Rahim said. Yet you forget your place. Zara stepped forward. No, she said calmly. You forgot who I was. Gasps rippled through the circle. I was not broken, she continued. I was tested. And I survived. Rahim's gaze shifted to Cole. You were meant to tame her. Cole's jaw tightened. She doesn't need taming. Silence crashed down. Zara reached for Cole's hand, not for strength, but to show unity. This man did not conquer me, she said. He saw me. The elders exchanged looks. Power was slipping through their fingers, and they felt it. You choose him over your blood? One demanded. Zara lifted her chin. I choose myself. At night, the desert howled. A rival clan attacked under the cover of darkness, believing the tribe weakened by division. Fire lit the sky. Screams cut the air. Zara didn't hesitate. She grabbed her blade. Cole grabbed his rifle. They fought side by side, instinctive, fierce, unstoppable. Zara moved like flame, precise and deadly. Cole covered her without question, trusting her back with his life. When the dust settled, the enemy lay defeated. The tribe stood stunned, not because they had survived, but because of who led them. Zara stood bloodied but unbowed, Cole at her side, his arm protectively around her shoulders. That was the moment the tribe understood. This was not a punishment. This was a rain. Later, beneath a quiet sky, Zara washed the blood from her hands at the edge of the camp. Her fingers trembled, not from fear, but release. Cole approached slowly. You were incredible, he said. She let out a shaky breath. I was angry for so long. I thought anger made me strong. And now? She turned to him. Now I know love doesn't make me weak. He reached for her face, hesitating, as he always did. This time she closed the distance. Her touch was deliberate, certain. When their foreheads met, the desert seemed to hold its breath. I was forced to marry you, she said softly. But I choose you. Cole smiled, not triumphant, but humbled. That's all I ever wanted. Their kiss was slow, grounding, real. No chains, no punishment. Just two people standing equal beneath the stars. At sunrise, the elders knelt. They named Zara Queen of the Kale. They named Cole her consort, protector, and voice to the outside world. Together, they changed the laws. Women spoke in council. Marriage became choice. Strength was no longer measured by dominance, but by loyalty. The desert noticed. It softened. Years later, travelers told stories of a tribal queen who was punished with marriage, of a cowboy who refused to claim what wasn't freely given, of a touch that melted a princess's armor and revealed a ruler, and of a love that turned exile into empire. The end